Not very long ago, there lived in the jungle an old and arrogant Molave. He deemed it right that he should be overbearing and proud. And why not? He was the oldest of all the trees. Moreover, he towered over all of them and caught a lot of sun so that despite his age, he continued to grow, his huge trunk getting stouter, his leaves always greener. Many of the trees around him had been felled by loggers so that there would be more land to plant, more firewood for the stoves of the farmers, and more lumber for the houses of the wealthy. The Molave was the sturdiest tree in all the land. He liked the independence and tough he resented the doves that sometimes rested on his branches. They did not stay long. Then one shimmering morning in April, he woke up to find a stranger, a solitary orchid clinging to his trunk. This young orchid had fastened herself to his trunk intending to latch on, a permanent parasite.
Go away! Go away!
The old tree hissed at the intruder when he realized that the young orchid's roots had already attached themselves to his bark.
I don't want anyone sponging on me.
The orchid was surprised.
I am no parasite. First, I did not elect to cling to you. Fate blew me here, just as fate dropped the seed that had become you on this very spot.
Fate or not, I don't want you clinging to me.
I am a free spirit. Can you not see that?
The orchid said.
And you do not sustain me other than give me an anchor so I won't be blown away anymore by the wind. God's sweet air is all I need to live, and the sun and the rain which is not even yours to give.
Free spirit!
The old tree roared in derision.
No such thing on earth. Each living creature has logic, a reason for existence.
And since you are the one who mentioned it, what is your reason for being? You are so old, so tall, but the truth is, your life has no logic, you old fool.
The orchid insisted.
I meant to be a tree.
All through these many years, nobody has ever spoken to him so brashly. Everyone had given him obeisant politeness, which his age, his height demanded. He was shocked at the youthful insolence. He could not react immediately. How can he deal with this impudent whelp? Briefly, he recalled how it was when he too was a tender sapling, how he had craved attention, for breathing space from the bigger and taller trees. In the end, how he had grown taller than all of them and covered most of the sunlight above the forest canopy.
I am this all tall because I had patience and perseverance. My roots go deep, very deep. That's why I am firm, which is why no typhoon can bowl me over or break me. Through many years, my dear young punk, they have tried to cut me down. Look below you at the scars and welts their axes left, but they all gave up. I am the hardiest of all the trees.
And even if you are, I would not care because for all your claimed attributes, you are useless except for yourself. No one has lived if he has not been helpful to others.
The venerable Molave thought it best to keep quiet for a while and ponder what the young pest had said. Indeed, he bore no fruit for people or the forest creatures to eat. Yes, his roots were sunk deep in the soil and he had really thrived, drawing sustenance from the earth, the sun, and the rain. But wait, he was giving some anchor now to this impudent weed. He had some use then even if that tiny little orchid refused to recognize it. Indeed, the rains came, first in soft gentle drizzles, then in lashing sheets that blotted out the sun. The old tree was quiet in his pleasure, his thick trunk immobile and firm. and his branches waving with each gust of wind.
Now,
He smirked to himself.
that little orchid will be blown away and I will rid myself of her silly taunts.
The wind broke many of the younger trees, and soon enough the wind lifted as did the rain.
No,
She whimpered.
you cannot get rid of me easily, and neither can you answer the question that I asked.
And can you answer the same question if it was asked of you?
Of course.
She said, her voice coming to life.
Beauty is its own excuse for being. I adorned Cleopatra's hair when she made love to Caesar. I brought life in color to an Indian woman's hat in the Amazon. I gave livelihood to thousands of people through the ages when they traded me for gold and goods. I was grown to a pulp by those who believed I had creative powers or could revive flagging energies. I did all this, although, like already said, beauty is its own excuse for being, like virtue is its own reward. So what if you are the tallest, the hardest, but you are not beautiful like the cypress? Your branches have no symmetry. Your trunk is cornelled. In fact, you are quite ugly. A homely father only his dutiful daughter could love. I think you know this, which is why you are so irascible.
The Molave tree rested every word that came out of the orchid's mouth. The drought came. Small plants, such as trees, plants, grass, seemed to have dried up, but the Molave tree did not budge. After a few days, it signals the end of the dry season, and welcome to winter. The Molave looked down. The orchid was still there. Her leaves wilted, her roots all withered, but on the whole, she was alive and breathing.
Will I ever be rid of you?
The old tree asked.
Only death can set us apart.
The young plant said in quiet triumph.
But who can cut me down? All those kangaroos with their axes, they all gave up. Have you forgotten I am the hardest tree ever? Life has no logic for me.
Braggart,
The orchid flung at him.
work is the logic of life, and sacrifice is the logic of love. You have not worked for anyone, nor sacrificed for anyone, even to someone as fragile and helpless as me. You cannot even be kind. What then is your purpose? I do not think you know what love is.
Again, such impudence and yet such meaning. He decided to humor her.
What does someone as young as you know about love that you can talk so glibly about it?
For a while, the orchid was silent. When she finally spoke, her words were slow and calming, but they were all crystal clear.
I know a lot about love because I have seen what those in love do, the pain they bear, and their joys as well. Someday, I will love someone, for we are destined to love. And since I am so close to you, and I am grateful, who knows, I may yet get to love a cantankerous and conceited ancient like you.
I am deeply touched.
The old tree said mockingly. Then one sunny morning, they woke up. The realization hits the Molave. Before he go to sleep, he asked himself if he was attached to her. His joy, alas, was short-lived. Down at his base appeared a group of loggers, and one of them pulled a rope which started a huge chainsaw. The old Molave cringed as he felt the sharp teeth of the machine bite into his flesh, drip into his innards, slowly and surely, thus still much harder than him.
They are going to cut you down, kill you, and they will kill me too.
The orchid shrieked.
My dear old Molave, this is the end.
In his death throes, the old Molave was stoic. He did not have to speak, for by he also knew what love and beauty. He stood erect for the last time, and then viewed from all those roots that had sustained him. He kneeled over and fell with a loud crash that reverberated in the entire forest. The fall had bruised the orchid and crushed some of her flowers, but still clung to the old Molave. One of the men came forward and gently pulled her away from the old tree.
We will scrape a bit of the bark.
He said to his companions,
For this beautiful thing to cling on, I have never seen anything like this wild and rare orchid.
The man who covered the orchid said,
I will give sections of it to Billy Abueva. He should be able to create a sculpture of lasting beauty from them. For the rest, I will have a big coffee table made for the living room. And this precious orchid, I am sure my wife will place it on the table to grace our living room too.
The moral lesson of this story is that every action has a purpose, but your life only has meaning when it also serves others. The narrative illustrates how our lives are significant to those of others and how, at various times in our lives, we have served various individuals in meaningful ways. In addition to that, every one of us has our purposes for existing. Even though it may be challenging right now, as long as we keep putting ourselves first and making the best decisions for both ourselves and others, we will ultimately be able to understand that reason and purpose.